That sound you just heard was a feeler gauge dropping into the bottom of the engine. So that's about how this episode goes. Thanks for tuning in to the VF700 Interceptor restoration. In this episode, we're going to be adjusting the valves, but to do so, we need to drain the coolant and remove the radiators from the motorcycle. But first, let's take a quick look at the carburetors that have been cleaned and adjusted. I have some new fuel line I'm going to be popping on here, but for the most part, they are completely all set. All the slides are back together. We definitely had some folded gaskets on the top here for the diaphragms, but they are all back together. I just need to bench sync them, and then we'll slap them back on the bike here. So I think I'm going to throw the insulator plate on, and then we will get it all set. So sorry for the other stuff I have here on the table. I'm taking apart the engine of the CX500 that I have over here. Alrighty, let's get some fuel line on here. Try and feed it onto here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, these two lines here feed what I think is probably vacuum into these carburetors to sync them. I'm really not too sure, but I know fuel comes in through these rails down here, that one there, and this one over here, it feeds through the channel there. I think I should be able to cut it a little long here, I think. Let's see what that puts us. It's gonna have to bend under like that. I think that might be good. Yeah, that should be good. We'll hold off on changing this out. I think this is probably a crankcase vent or something. I have no idea. But this fuel line, while it's nice and easy to get to, I think we're gonna get off of here too. Let's just cut it here. And I'm gonna get a screwdriver here and pull it up. Let's see here. Oh boy. Let's see if I can cut that. Yep. There we go. Perfect. All right, I think I have some. Yeah. Some fuel line clamps here. Feels about right. Let's see if we can sneak this on here. Maybe one size smaller. Yeah, I'd rather it be a tighter fit though. Not gonna fall off. I think we hit part of it on there. I think we got it on. Yeah, we do. Okay. Let me get a pair of my clamps here. Let's see. Okay. That looks pretty good. Nice. Maybe a bit of a thicker gauge fuel line, but I'm okay with that for now. It fits on there pretty good, so I'm happy. All right, let's see here. What about, you know, I think we're gonna leave the tag in along here because we did cut this fuel line over here, which looks like it runs all the way under here. So we're gonna leave it long, and then if we have to get a coupler, we can. Looks like this one had a coupler in it. All right, let's get these out of the way, trash. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do here. Lift one dowel in where it's supposed to be, so it's supposed to go like this. Now I think this might wind up being a bit of a pain because the problem is that we have to get these gaskets to line up nice, which they're probably not going to want to, especially this one here. Looks like it's got a little bit of a crease in there. But let's see. If we can all line up nice. I think maybe we'll start the screws and then see where that takes us. Oh, this one. Yep. I think I'm gonna put you in the stand for this here. Putting this insulator plate on took a good long time, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you back when this is all set and there's something interesting to see. Okay, so we've got the carbs all back together. I have the boots as centered as I can get them. Some of them are a little bit bent, but it's just going to have to be as what it is. Now I have some 2-stroke fuel in here just to fill up the bowls for the first time, help them lubricate a little bit. Let's see if we can turn the fuel on here and hopefully we don't get any leaks. Let's see. Fuel's going in. Don't see anything right now. Pretty good to me. Fuel is still going in, but I don't see anything leaking, which is great. I want to do this now so that way we don't get carbs back on the bike and then all of a sudden it starts leaking on us here. Let's see. I think we might be good. Anything leaking. Alright, now the next job here is to adjust the valves. There's a procedure set up in the factory service manual to adjust the valves, and you got to take a whole bunch of stuff off the bike. So we're going to start by taking off the lower radiator and go from there. Alrighty, so it looks like we have to pop this bottom cowl here off in order to adjust the valves. So let's see if we can get that down here. Ooh, oh boy. So you got a lot of dust in there. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. A couple dings here and there. Not bad. Next we're going to pop the radiator cap off here and go ahead and drain the coolant from the system. The manual also says in order to remove all of the coolant, you have to open up the water pump cover. So we're doing that here, draining it all out. The last step to draining all the coolant out of the engine is to remove this small 10 mil bolt at the bottom of the engine. Tried with a normal ratchet and a socket, didn't work. Tried it with an extension from the front side, it didn't work either. I tried with a normal 10 mil wrench and that seemed to do the trick. Oh, Jesus. The manual then says to rock the bike left and right and get all the coolant out of the bottom of the cylinders and the bottom of the cooling jackets. So I'm going to lay a towel down here so it doesn't get all over the floor and roll it around. Now we're going to work on removing the radiators here, so I'm going to take this guard off and then work on getting the radiators out. Now with both radiators removed out of the engine, we're going to go ahead and take the valve covers off here and take a look at the valves and see if we can get them adjusted. Now that both valve covers are off, we're going to take a look at the flywheel and get the engine on the correct stroke for valve adjustment. Okay, we got 6 thou shim here. That's what the manual calls. Now the astute among you may have realized that that feeler gauge was not on a spool like it should have been. It's pretty tight quarters in between these frame rails, and I took it off the spool so that I could properly get in there and check the clearance. The problem being that feeler gauge can now easily fall into the bottom of the engine, which you might be seeing here in just a minute. I can't even get it on. Oh god. Nope. Won't even fit. Well, this bike was probably not running great. The clearance on the valves that I had checked was super tight, so I wanted to double check that I was on the right stroke, because if you're on the wrong stroke, not top dead center on the compression stroke, you'll be setting it to the wrong adjustment and the bike will run like crap later. So I figured I'd double check my work and see if I was on the right stroke. Just double checking that I'm on the correct stroke. I'm fairly certain that I am. Now that jingle you heard was the feeler gauge falling down just below the cams, and I can see it, and I'm trying to get in there with a magnet, but it's too much in the way, so I decided to take off the, I don't know if they call it a girdle or maybe the oiler lines up here, and kind of pull those off so I can get access to it, move things around, and see if I can get at it with the magnet again. Pretty nice shot of the back of my head here. And here too, I'm just trying to get in there with a pair of clamps. And then I try the tip of a magnetic screwdriver and... fuck. And that, folks, is how you turn a valve adjustment into a full engine teardown. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the VF700 restoration. I'm going to be putting the Interceptor to the side for a little bit because I'm going to focus on this 1981 Honda GL500 Silverwing Interstate model. This bike has lived a hard life and I'm going to be taking it on a pretty long road trip this fall, so I got to get it ready. Stay tuned for some motocamping content. Thanks for watching.